If you're a man over 40 trying to attract younger women, these 6 cheat codes will make your life easier.
So the first principle in attracting younger women is master strong eye contact, projecting unwavering presence. This foundational behavior is perhaps the most immediate indicator of your inner world and social standing. Strong, steady eye contact is a non-verbal declaration of inner stillness and self-possession. When you habitually avoid a woman's gaze, or if your eyes drift aimlessly when she's speaking, you instantly signal anxiety, insecurity, or a deeply submissive posture, qualities that are the antithesis of attraction. In contrast, when you consciously and calmly hold her gaze for 3 seconds or longer during conversation, you project a deep sense of composure, command, and comfort in your own skin. It immediately labels you as a man who is not intimidated by social scrutiny, a leader who is assertive and alpha. Avoid the amateur mistake of staring intensely or aggressively. Your goal is a warm, focused, and steady connection that communicates, "I am fully present, I see you, and I am not anxious." This simple, intentional act builds immediate tension, forces vulnerability, and acts as a powerful catalyst for attraction and genuine emotional chemistry. It shows you own the space and the moment. 2. Initiate playful nicknames. Building intimacy and rapport. The use of a nickname is an overlooked social maneuver that rapidly establishes an in-group feeling and bypasses the slow, formal process of acquaintance. The technique involves calling a woman by a unique, playful nickname that you personally assigned her. This could be based on a situational cue, a personality quirk, or an observation, such as the Chief if she seems organized, Firecracker if she's energetic, or Daydreamer if she mentions creative hobbies. The power of the nickname lies in its sophisticated implication. First, it subtly signals that you are highly observant and creative, taking the time to notice and label a defining characteristic of her personality. Second, delivering the nickname with a warm smile or teasing tone demonstrates that you are playful, comfortable, and confident enough to tease her, a level of genuine non-needy familiarity that younger, less seasoned men rarely attempt. This intentional jump to a personal, shared language swiftly creates rapport and intimacy. It becomes your unique inside joke. Use it selectively and with genuine affection to maintain its charm and avoid any perception of being patronizing. 3. Employ strategic, playful judgment, establishing value and standards. The most common trap older men fall into is the salesman or qualification mindset, desperately attempting to impress a woman with their accomplishments, financial status, or excessively polite behavior. This makes them appear needy and confirms they are seeking her validation. The superior strategy is to deploy playful judgment. This means you must actively listen for something specific she says or does and challenge it with a light-hearted, absurd, or exaggerated response. For instance, if she tells you she prefers watching historical documentaries, you might say, "Ah, I see. So you're one of those insufferable intellectuals who judges everyone else's movie taste. I'm going to have to keep a close watch on you." This serves 2 crucial functions. It shows you are evaluating her and are not automatically impressed, and it demonstrates a sense of humor. This approach instantly distinguishes you from the crowd by asserting that you are a confident, high-value man who has standards and the wit to challenge her reality, which is profoundly compelling to women. 4. Introduce small, calm disagreements, asserting independence. The most direct route to the friend zone is being relentlessly agreeable, nodding along to every single point she makes. This behavior is immediately categorized as the nice guy pathology, suggesting her approval is your primary objective and that you fear disrupting the conversation. The hallmark of a confident man is the ability to assert his own perspective. Therefore, you must not be afraid to introduce small, measured disagreements on minor points. If you are being honest, you will naturally find things you view differently. The critical factor is how you deliver the disagreement. It must be done in a calm, casual, and completely respectful manner. For example, if she expresses a preference for a certain travel destination you dislike, you might say, "That's a fascinating choice. I actually think that place is completely overrated, but I respect that you enjoy it. What specifically drew you to it?" You've stated your own truth while instantly pivoting back to her with curiosity. This is highly effective because it confirms that you have an independent mind and are not dependent on her for validation. 5. Intentionally initiate physical touch. creating connection and comfort. The majority of men fail this test, remaining paralyzed by the fear of being seen as creepy. This failure guarantees they remain in the platonic zone. You must actively and intentionally look for opportunities to initiate physical touch as early as possible in the interaction. You must begin with platonic, socially acceptable points of contact. A firm, confident handshake upon meeting, a high five to celebrate a shared success, a light, brief touch on her upper arm or shoulder when making a sincere point or sharing a laugh. These are your essential tools for breaking the touch barrier. Initiating physical contact signals that you are fearless, bold, and comfortable with physical intimacy. Moreover, touch is scientifically proven to be the fastest mechanism for releasing oxytocin, the bonding hormone, thereby establishing trust and emotional connection. Once she is comfortable with your platonic touch, she will be exponentially more receptive to the natural progression of intimacy. 6. Take control and lead the conversation, signaling leadership. The fundamental trait that separates a desirable partner from a mere friend is the ability to lead. This is the highest expression of masculine confidence. To successfully attract her, you must visibly lead the conversation by taking the primary responsibility for the flow, direction, and energy of the interaction. In the early stages, this often means you should be talking the majority of the time. The amateur mistake is asking a superficial question and then falling silent, waiting for the woman to entertain you. The professional, confident strategy is to drive the conversation forward by asking open-ended, thoughtful questions, sharing high-value stories and opinions, injecting proactive humor, and confidently directing the conversation across various topics. This act of taking charge demonstrates that you have the social intelligence and capacity to take the lead in life, which is a deeply feminine need. When a woman feels guided, intellectually stimulated, and emotionally safe around you, she is allowed to relax into a more responsive, feminine state. This powerful, visceral attraction, the feeling of being with a capable man, is what will ultimately draw her to you, nullifying any perceived disadvantages related to your age or other superficial traits. By focusing on these behaviors, you leverage your life experience into irresistible confidence. However, here is the critical truth. Implementing all the confidence strategies we've discussed will not be enough if you don't master the key skill of flirting. Without genuine, effortless flirtation, your interactions will lack the necessary spark to ignite attraction. The great news is that flirting is an entirely learnable skill, and we can show you exactly how. To truly master this final piece of the puzzle, click the link in the description and learn how to effortlessly flirt with women and instantly build chemistry.